And good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Attacking Third. And before we start, just gotta say one thing real quick. Let me get finally the Union have come back to the MLS playoffs. Let's go.
Oh,
What's up? What we have here today? We have my man Austin, like always, here coming in with the hotness, and then we have apparently a bad imitation of Paul Bearer, which please never do again because that was ridiculous.
oh yes, my Chris Donovan found the back of the net.
You know, here's what happens. I try to do something fun, and then Pat just has to take it to the next level. This is what happens every time I try to do something. He just takes it.
Look, you're fine with dealing with this, right? I can just go.
You know, I try to do something fun for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like this is Pat. Pat just has to take it to the creep level. This is what we love him. My man Pat Bernard, of course, joining us in our second third here. So, gentlemen, playoff soccer. What are we thinking?
What's up, Mitch? Playoff soccer. All I can say is don't give up on this team, as Jim Curtin likes to say. This team had no Carranza, no Wagner, and no Glesnes, and still managed. They were getting outplayed in the beginning of the game, at the end of the game, and this team hung around. Hung around. Why? Because Andre Blake, a defense, and guys willing to step up. You want to say, let's go. I want to go with a Sullivan who really tried to put a game up. But I'll be right back with you, gentlemen.
First of all, Gus, you can't even turn your notifications off, my dude. You can't even turn Xbox notes off, bro.
Hold on. My man Jose joining in here. Universitario de Deportes, that's right. The U from Peru just won the championship last night against the rivals Alianza Lima in a wonderful played game. It's the classic El Clásico of Peru, and I am so happy that we got to beat this team because these are the Cowboys of Lima. Like that's what they are. They're such bad losers, and as soon as we won, they shut the lights at the stadium because they didn't want us to celebrate in their house because we beat them in their house. That is, see, I rep the U everywhere I go. This is what I do. What? Do you...
Well, most of the U's, because I mean,
well, most.
I carry that burden for both of us. Don't worry.
No. See, you're talking about the man to use. We don't talk about they don't care. They don't matter.
I'm not talking about them because it's just been bad. It's been really rough. But yeah, dude, this was like Pat said. This was exactly what you wanted Philadelphia Union to be able to do in a closeout game, to be able to just hang tight, roll with the punches that New England gives you, and just finally have that answer. Even if it was in the 79th minute, that service from McGlynn was beautiful. Nice low runner. Just found Donovan on his run in. Beautifully placed ball. Beautiful pickup on it by Donovan to be able to get that shot off. And instead of talking about, what possibly could have been in penalty kicks, we're talking about Philadelphia moving on to face FC Cincinnati. So I mean, it was an amazingly well played game. Damian Lowe has been putting in a ton of work on the back line there, having to replace Jake Glesnes with the injury that he's sustained and, the surgery that he has to have. But, I kind of don't even want to talk about what happened with Kai Wagner now, because of the fact that I'm just let's get the hell past it and focus on the games that we have on hand, because the second you let that sort of bleed in as a bigger distraction, I feel like is the second that you start to lose what you're trying to focus on.
Well, see, here's the thing. I thought that because it is a distraction. I mean, when you look at it holistically, it's a distraction. So I thought that Jim Curtin did a great job in getting everybody together and the same mindset. What's going on, Chase? Let's go, you. Um, and I thought he did a absolutely great job in getting everybody just their heads in the game, and that's all we care about. I mean, not going out with three of our starters. I mean, that's huge. Like, that's a big loss. No matter what way you look at it, I know Harry will start sometimes, but he starts on the other side. Sometimes it's not that easy to go back and forth. Like, that's not easy. There's a reason why there are positions out on the pitch. So to not have the three starters going against a New England team that really had something to prove, and they came out basically full strength. So this was huge. It was huge for their characters. It was huge for what's to come of the playoffs. Now, mind you, I am it's a little worrisome when we do have what's going on, Daniel. We do have Cincy coming up, which is going to be a big task, and not having Wagner and Glesnes is going to be tough. Hopefully, we can get Carranza back so we can get some more touches up top. But yeah, gentlemen, I mean, I feel like we can do this. I am a little. I'm in a better place now than I was at the end of the season. Coming into the playoffs. But Jimmy in the playoffs, it's a different animal.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just totally different demon from what we saw Philadelphia Union as the season closed. Being able to capitalize late, being able to hold your leads and really essentially park the bus and be able to just not let anything pass. It's totally different from what we had saw in the last month and a half of league play from Philadelphia. And what's Jose saying here? I'm in a worse place compared to the beginning of the season. I met Pat.
Well, I wish, Jose. Listen, I wish I could tell you that you were lying, but you're not.
Jose, I also wish I could tell you it gets easier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we do it all out of love, man. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I know. I listen. I feel the love. Okay. Listen. I felt the intense love when I like I said the first time I hung up with my man Jose. My man didn't give me a smile. He didn't say, "Hey, what's going?" He had this crazy look in his eye. Said, "I want to just drill you with one of these." I was like, "Hey, what's up, buddy?" He just
You've
he
officially
don't belong here.
made into the friendship that is Patrick Bernard.
Yes. I said, Jose, is there something wrong with my face? He's like, he said, I just want to just
Everything.
drill one of these. Just want to just drill a couple of these in your face. I was like, I'll just have to keep that in the back of my mind, sir. That's kind of look he was giving me now. That's it. I love Jose. He does a phenomenal job. And if anyone's paying attention, my man does a phenomenal job on
the sheer difference between Jose meets Pat, and he's like, something about this face just
yes.
beats me. And he's like, dude, you are way taller than I thought.
Here goes Danny. He goes, let's go for a championship. No Eagles this Sunday. Spring for youth football. Cheer go. Yes. All right. I like it. No wrong. 10-10 performance of that. Oscar worthy. Yes. And then Chase is saying
it's easier
since
to be
he's
able
down
to
the starter.
enact those scenes because you're taking it from personal experience.
That's
Yes.
true.
Yes.
That's a good
Yes.
point. That's a great point, B.
He goes, so Chase is checking in. He goes, since he's down at star, well, follow a yellow accumulation so we get that Yeah, but here goes the thing, though. I mean, we're missing, and granted, we're not going to be playing for like another 2 weeks, so you can possibly get Carranza back. And again, I want to thank my man Jose and my man Skylar. The three of us did the post game show yesterday, and they those guys brought some solid points. Like one, like if Glaznes, and I'll ask both of you guys, if Glaznes is, I'll say 80 to 85% ready to go, do you throw him into the mix up, or do you keep him out?
I don't think I would in a situation like this because you're just gonna make his he's just coming out of surgery and it's not a huge one but it's still it's still surgery. So to put him out at 80% when you have Low playing the way that he's playing now, mind you, the only thing about Low, like I told you, he's aggressive, right? Like he's been aggressive. He's
Mhm.
the whole time he's played has been here. That's the kind of center back that he is, which that's fine. That's the way he plays. We can counter. There are a couple times where the Union get a little caught, um, a little too far up. But as long as he keeps playing the way that he's playing, because he is a good defender. It's just he's not Glesnes though, right? So I think he's doing a good enough job for us not to
Right.
risk
He's not Glaznes
getting
that,
for the future.
Yeah, he's a good roaming defender. Like he has the speed to be able to get back if he needs to. It's just sometimes he'll end up getting caught too far. But I have really liked the play that I've seen from him throughout the season. And especially last night, he did an incredible job last night. He's been solid. Like I said, he's been solid the entire time that we've had him in the spots that he plays. He knows that he's really doing what he can to keep himself as a consideration every single time he's out there. Yeah, Sullivan did a very good job last night. I mean, just
Oh, he
up
was
and down.
solid. Dude.
Yeah, up and down. It was a solid performance from Blake out. It was exactly what you wanted in a I guess you could say a series clinching game. You
Mhm.
had your goalkeeper playing his best. You had your back line playing their best, and you even had the young talent and guys like McGlynn and Donovan connecting on that goal. So I mean, it's exactly everything that Philadelphia wanted to have go their way went their way.
Let me tell you something. Andre Blake is a freaking dog. I don't care
The
what
man,
anybody
the
says. He's
man's
the best.
unreal.
He is the best goalie in the MLS, but it's not even close, dude. You got to understand that what he did yesterday, and in a play that might have not even counted because he was clearly offsides. What he did on that play does not happen. That is a goal anywhere that you go in the world. It is a goal. That's
Yeah,
instinct. That's nothing more than that. It is that's safe. Even though it might have been pulled back if it was a goal, most likely. The fact that he was even there to make the play, it goes to show you how good he actually is. This man, it's the reason we're here. It's the reason we always play the way we do, because if we can trust that we're going to be safe on one side of the ball, the other side of the ball is just going to open up a lot more. It is absolutely unbelievable. There's really not enough that I could say about Blake, or what he's done and what he's doing for this organization. It's just absolutely unbelievable. I am Thanksgiving is coming up. You know what I'm thankful for? Andre freaking Blake. That's what I'm thankful for.
that's
Yes, yes.
right.
Dave checking in says, "Hey fellas, good win for the Philadelphia Union last night. Thanks, Dave, my man."
Absolutely.
Um, yeah. So, like I said, that's what stood out to me about this team. Again, you're facing a lot of adversity, and you figure out how to win, and with what you have. Again, and I gotta give, Gus, you might want to cover your ears, but Doyle was excellent on the field yesterday. He was
I,
excellent.
you know what?
He
He was solid.
he
He
was
was.
solid.
We don't have a lot of depth. He did his job. I'll give him that. There's not really much I could say about Bedoya.
And as believe it or not, Jose pointed this out. There was a Joaquin Torres sighting for like almost 10 minutes yesterday.
Yeah.
I thought I was watching another game from the beginning of the season. I was like, I said, he's still playing for the Union, and you know what? He brought a little spark to
Yes.
the team. Like, this is what he does. And I don't understand. Maybe he's just he didn't play as well. Maybe he didn't show up in practice. I don't know, but he brings a little spark, and he's not a takeover type of guy. He just brings a little spark to the game, which in situations like this when we're just hurting for depth, it's nice to have somebody come in and kind of like get that going a little bit. Uh, what do you say about Quinn? Quinn played a hell of a game, even though there were limited touches because we didn't. I thought he could maybe be involved a little more in the limited
Mhm.
touches that he did have. I thought he was great. That kid's just getting better and better every year.
Right.
Obviously, we did miss Carranza. Huge hole to fill right there, but I can't say much. And the one thing I wanted to bring up to you guys, and then correct me if I'm wrong, but is Jack McGlynn not getting enough credit here? Because I mean, we talk about the team as a whole. I don't see a lot of people talk about Jack McGlynn
You know what,
in the
guys?
way that I think they should.
Because I didn't look at it at that point of view, but that is something we should be talking about because again, how many offset kicks that he got yesterday? How many that he looked really good yesterday. And maybe we should be giving him credit because he did a hell of a job yesterday. He did a
It
hell of a
wasn't
job.
only yesterday. He's been doing this for a couple games. The passing, he's just getting better when it comes to the actual position. His passing ability right now it's just it's skyrocketing, dude. And he's placing the balls just right where he needs to place them. That Ua goal that he had in the first game where he put the through pass through Wagner and Wagner sent it in. That
Hmm.
was one of the cleanest passes I've seen in the MLS. Like
Yeah,
it was crazy, and
Yeah,
he gives you that a couple times a game.
yeah,
yeah,
and
and like I
he's,
said,
he's
that's
he's only been getting better. That's the part about it that a lot of people are sort of overlooking is like his talent is only going to rise from here if he gets the proper coaching and given the proper time. His stock can go way higher. Like this kid already has incredible ball control and good service skill, and he's what 19,
But he's like
yeah,
19
he's
something like that.
20,
Yeah, like
he
maybe
is 20.
yeah, say maybe 20 at the absolute oldest.
Yeah.
Like he's got skill. Like he has some pretty high tier skill already, and he hasn't even hit his prime yet.
No, he's
I-
years away from his prime, dude. The fact
and
that they're
like
having this right now is awesome.
like you guys are saying, he's just a puppy. He's just a puppy out there. So again, we all know about that left leg and how dangerous it is. I mean, like I said, he played a solid game, but here goes the major question I got to ask you guys. Was it a foul or not? Did Mark Anthony K deserve the red flag? Did it look intentional that he stomped on the chest of Gazdag? I've heard today. So I've at my guy I had lunch with, a coworker of mine. He said he doesn't think it was intentional. He thought it was the wrong call. I will go to you, Gus. I would. Was this the wrong call last night to pull Mark Anthony for the stomp on Gazdag last night? What was your take?
Before I answer that, we can all agree the refereeing hasn't been great as a whole. The last two games, it just hasn't.
No, it's MLS. What do you expect?
Yeah, not great. It hasn't been great as a whole. Was it a red card for what it foul it was? Yes. Now, did it actually happen? That's up for interpretation. I'm not sure. If the ref really did believe that he stomped on his chest, yes, it's a red card. I mean, there's no question about it.
Yeah, because like I said, I looked at the tape. I trying to figure it out because half of me wants to say no, but half of me looks like he knew where to plant that foot. It looked like he planted right on the chest of guys like, and then like so the guy again, my buddy Lou, he's like, yeah, he looked like guys like kind of like rolled into it as his foot come down. I said, I don't
Well, he
know about
probably
that.
did, but that's what they're used to doing, right? Like you're in soccer, and you know what? This is why a lot of people here kind of look away because I'm going to say something sacrilegious to you, but that in soccer, that's just what you look for. Like you look for somebody to hit you because you're going to go down, you're going to get the foul. Like that's what
Right,
you do.
right,
It's almost like basketball where you would you go in there and look for the foul because they call it right. Almost a little bit
right,
different because you don't look for a flag. I mean, sometimes when you're in the offense, you throw it up and you hope for a pass interference, right? When you're actually looking
right.
for it, so it's kind of not really, but it's kind of like that. To where that when you grow up playing the game, like that's what they teach you. They teach you to go out there, and if you see that you're getting beat for the ball or something like that, put your leg in and get fouled. Do something.
Yeah.
Now, stop on somebody just a little bit different. We're talking about something completely different.
That's the whole. So Austin, I before I get to you, Austin, here goes our man Dave. You all know he goes, hey guys, I have my really high school game coming up, alumni game coming up on November 24th. Been a while since I've been on the field. I'm looking forward to it. Dave, I hope
And
you stretch, my friend.
Dave, please do. I don't want you to tear no ACLs. We've we're a little up there in age. Actually, what's funny this weekend, a couple of my buddies were all came back from they moved away, so they all came back. We went to the Eagles game, and after the game, we chilled a little bit before we took off, and we had a football, and they literally started playing backyard football right then and there. A couple scratches. There was one ACL tear, but it was outside the game, and
That's
and
non-contact injury.
a couple bumps. But it was fun, man. I mean, I sat back and just drank a couple beers and just watched these. We'll just slide back and forth. But it was nice. It was nice. But just make sure that stretch, please, for the love of God, stretch.
Yes. Like not like I said, not to go off the beaten path, but like again, like you say, you see your kids doing cartwheels and somersaults, and my kids are like, hey, Dad, why don't you try? I look at that floor, I'm like, nah, that's a far drop, my friend. That's not gonna happen. That's
And
too
Pat used to be on his back all the time.
Oh yeah, it hurts when I fall my back. I'm like, no.
Whoa, Austin! I mean he was taking bumps. What's that face for? Jeez. It's a family show.
We went right to the gutter.
Oh, now it's a family show. Now it is. I guess because my name gets brought up, it becomes a family show. That's understandable.
I really think it's a new record. We're 22 minutes into the show, and Pat hasn't said wiener one time. So congratulations, Pat, on your new record.
It took us 22 minutes to use the term family friendly. I think that's a record.
Well, like I said, I think it's 10 a.m. somewhere just a boot now. So a boot now. Also, so I'll take it away. Did you think it was a stomp to the chest to Gazag, or did you think we'll put it like this way, do you think it was intentional or not?
I mean, I actually just got a chance to rewatch the clip just a minute ago, and he had all the opportunity in the world to be able to step over top of Daniel Gazdag and just step clean over him. He tried to make it look like he got caught up, and it was a deliberate stomp. It really was. I mean, I'm normally not one to be that kind of person about it, but that was.
Right.
It was deliberate. Like he tried to make it seem like Gazdag grabbed the hold with his foot so he couldn't continue forward and had to step downward. But
put it this way, there is not enough evidence to overturn the call. There we go.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it's not a good look when your team's sort of battling to try and keep their season alive to pull something like that and have your team go down a man. It's very boneheaded. Not a good look for Mark Anthony Kaye on his own, but then again, it's sort of like the pot and the kettle right now. So I'm not really going to continue saying that it's classless or bad or anything like that because I can't really talk much because of what happened with Wagner. But it definitely in that moment was not the right move. Definitely,
I will say, if I am going to be critical of anything with New England playing down a man, at times I forgot they were down a man because it did not look like they were.
They stayed aggressive. They stayed very aggressive down a man.
They played him well. The Union should have had way more. They beat him in control, but I think that we should have controlled the ball a lot more and get way more opportunities than what we had in just the one goal. That part kind of worries me a little bit. I don't know if it was maybe because they didn't know how to play it with my guys on the pitch, but hey, we won. That's the main thing.
It was supposed to. I think, though, believe it or not, as good. Like I said, they looked really good in the beginning part of the game and towards the end, and I just felt like the Union hung around just enough where they had time to make adjustments. And I'll call, Jose said yesterday on the post game, he said they were trying to make all these high looking shots and all that stuff. Keep it low. Just keep it low enough where again, Chris Donovan, the unsung hero, just came up and made that cross looking move and went right to the back of the net. So, and that's something, like I said, some of the playmaking on their end. And then again, I got to give credit to the Chris Elliott's, to the whole defense. Like they made things uncomfortable. Like I was expecting a big play from that. What's that called? The kid got Gus. No point. Gus Boyo. Am I saying his
Gustavo
name?
Bo.
Oh, Gustavo
Gustavo
Bell.
Bo. Like that kid's dangerous. And then
Yeah,
if you
you
look
don't
at,
know my name?
well, of course I know your name.
Like,
Yeah,
my name is Gustavo, man. Gustavo.
Gus, I butcher my own name. Okay, it's not a shocker, but I will say this one thing.
I try my
I
best
would-
to protect Pat from a lot of the difficult names in sports.
yeah, and Pat Bernard, so it's tough. But I looked at, they have a potential of blowing that team up, like New England. So if that kid becomes available, and I believe he's looking for a payday, if I read the things right. Yeah, I think Nashville is going to be blowing up their team as well, potentially. So, FYI, to keep a lookout. Maybe, hopefully, the Union will do something. Um, Here goes Joan Downs Wanner checking in. Goes, go Union. She goes,
Go
guess what?
you.
If you know you can beat the team and beat them and avoid injuries. Yeah,
Well, that's the name of the game. We can't afford any more injuries, so yeah, I'm down for that.
I mean,
yeah,
I'm just glad we got away from a game on turf with nothing wrong, dude. I'm so
Yeah.
glad.
But yeah, again, like, okay, Denise, Joan, I'm gonna, again, you look at this team had injuries. Again, you missed your best offensive player. You missed your best, assist man. You missed your best defenseman, and yet this team still won. And that's to quote the scholar. Like teams was shorthanded, and yet they battled through adversity. They figured out how to win. And like I said, I gotta give Quentin Sullivan his due. That kid was trying to make plays, and he had the one goal ricochet off the pipe. So he was in there. He was in, and he just couldn't get
I feel
nothing
like he
going.
has those a lot. I feel like everyone like he loves the pull on the side there, man. Like I feel like he has those near misses all the time. That's gotta get frustrating for the kid. He'll figure it out. He's still like very young. Those guys are all really young. Even sometimes we forget that Carranza's only 22, 23 years old. He hasn't even
Yes.
reached his prime yet.
Yep.
So sometimes we forget how young these guys are just because Carranza really, it's Carranza especially because he plays so well up top at times that we forget how old he actually is.
Yeah, he's just a puppy. You know what I mean? Again, but like I said, I gotta give credit, and just like June Curran said, don't forget about us, and he made that statement. So it's a good field win. This team is going to be seeing their old rivalry. They're going to be seeing a familiar face. So this is the matchup I didn't want, but before we get into breakup, start going around, talk about that potential matchup coming up. Let's get into a sponsor, and let's go run the league a little bit of MLS. And Gus, let's talk about that Pro Championship. So hold on a second, guys. Let's dive in a little bit of the sponsorship here.
10, 9,
Oh,
8.
there we go. Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, let's talk about Cherry Law Firm. If you get hurt at work in a motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or affected by criminal law, you got to call David R. Cherry of the Cherry Firm. Call 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let David R. Cherry fight for your rights. Again, that number is 610-565-0300. That's 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let David R. Cherry fight for your right.
Thank you, Dives. So Gus, Austin, we have a pair of game threes coming up this weekend, and I want to run through you guys. Starting tomorrow, Seattle and Dallas. Who do you have?
I like Seattle.
You like Seattle.
As good as Dallas has been, I feel like Seattle just has the experience.
Okay.
You know what? I think I'm leaning experience myself here.
So you're
Just because Seattle, I mean, they're really a different team in the playoffs. Like, and all they really have to do is get there, and
They're more
there's
tenacious.
there's something about them that once they get in the play, they're like the Miami Heat of soccer. Like once they get in the playoffs, like they can go far. I think. I mean, I think Dallas is doing well, but I don't know. I'm leaning Seattle here also.
so you're going Seattle. I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to take Dallas.
Is it an upset though? Is it what's the line on that?
I don't know. I all I know is whoever wins this gets to meet LAFC.
Dude, I think Seattle can get through LAFC too. I mean, like I said, I don't know.
What?
There's something, I really do. There's something about this team in the playoffs that I don't know. It's different.
Okay. All right. I'll take it.
I don't trust LAFC like prior years. I mean, maybe I'm alone in this. Maybe it's just because I don't like them. But I mean, Austin, you tell me.
I think Seattle could beat LA, dude. I really do.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
Like Gus said, dude, MLS Cup playoff start and Seattle becomes a totally different team.
Well, and I'm gonna circle back to that one. Based off Jose said something that kind of sparked my eye with this Union team. Let's go to Houston and Salt Lake City. The winner meets the sleeper, so supporting Kansas City. So Houston or Salt Lake City, who do you guys have?
I'm taking the Dynamo, man.
You're going to Dynamo.
Yeah, I'm going Dynamo.
Nah, dude, Salt Lake. We're gonna get a Salt Lake KC matchup. Winner's gonna face either Seattle or LAFC in the conference final. It's gonna be such a low-seeded conference final in the West, I think.
So you're going.
Most.
I'm gonna have to go.
You know what? I do have Dynamo winning, but I have Kansas City. Kansas City going all the way.
All right, you got Kansas City going all the way. I got wow. So you're going with the bottom feeder making a big splash.
Yeah, dude, listen. The last couple of years, playoffs have just been weird, and I'm talking about sports as a whole. So you know what? I'm taking them dogs.
I mean,
okay.
The fact that Philadelphia, LA last year was the first time in 7 or 8 years that the one seeds made it to the MLS Cup final. Like that doesn't happen often in MLS. So, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we bow Cincinnati out.
Ooh,
I would not be surprised.
We're not there yet.
St. Louis lost to Kansas City. Kansas City, there was a point where they didn't win a game for 2 months, dog. Like, think about it.
Yes.
Anything can happen on any given day. Kansas City just knocked out the second best team in MLS.
Yes.
Damn, that's a big...
Yeah, it is a big statement. I mean, listen, anything can happen. Like I said, it's a clean sheet. It's a whole new season. Anything can happen. All right. So the main event Sunday, Columbus at home taking on ATL. Are you guys feeling the crew?
I don't think Atlanta carries the momentum of winning 4-2. I think it was a blip in the radar. I think they got lucky. I think Columbus seals it.
As you guys like to say, since I'm
gonna disagree with you. I want to disagree with you.
Thank you.
I think Atlanta goes to Columbus and they get shit done. I really do.
Oh no.
I think it becomes the Cucho show, dog. I think Cucho gets a brace, man.
I don't know.
No,
I'm thinking. Listen, I'm thinking they win, and I'm thinking they win in a penalty shootout.
I think this
Wouldn't
is
that be fitting? Wouldn't that be so fitting?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is all setting up for an Ohio Eastern Conference Championship matchup. So I'm going to say Columbus takes this. So this way, it's all set up for Columbus, Ohio, who's going to take on Cincinnati, Ohio, calling Eastern Conference Championship. I think they'll be nuts.
Oh, so you don't have the Union winning.
Oh, I love the
all.
Union to win. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Wait a
Don't do
minute!
it. Don't do it.
No. You just said it. You have
Oh,
the
I mean,
meeting in the conference champion. That means that you don't have the Union winning against
I
Cincinnati.
didn't say that. I said I would like, but this is my theory. I said this is what it
That's
comes down to.
exactly
This is the hard movie.
That
That's
can't,
what you said.
look,
Paul
that
Bear,
can't,
that's
yeah.
exactly what you said.
All right, well, listen.
Jose,
Look at it.
yes.
Look at it. This backpedal. He's backpedaling. Look at him.
Get him.
Look at him.
That's
He's
okay.
backpedaling.
Get him.
And
Get him.
Hashtag dork.
oh, listen, Jose, if you're listening right now, that was not a coffee order. That was just diabetes in a cup. That's what that was.
That was nothing.
Yeah.
Pales in comparison.
all that-
What
that
I
was-
use just to keep myself alive.
No, that's
Yes.
crazy. That was a little bit. That was a little bit of coffee with a lot of sugar. That's what it was.
Bro, I went
Yeah,
to
I got sugar in my tank, dude.
I went to 7-Eleven right by my work today to get a cup of coffee, and they had like, you know how they have like the little things of creamer in the little like with the little rip tops, espresso shots.
Yes.
I dropped 5 of them in there.
Well, see, espresso shots are fine. That's what they're there for. That's what they're there to do.
5
Pat,
of them in one cup of coffee, Gus.
Wait, why not? I mean, you feel a little froggy. Go ahead and leave.
Why not?
What Pat does, Pat grabs a whole bunch of sugar, then is hyperactive for about 20 minutes, and then goes to sleep. This is what he does.
He gets a whole bunch of sugar and cream and goes up to the coffee man, and they just that's his coffee. That's his coffee. That's the actual coffee is just a little drop in the bucket.
And listen, and I do have to say, Jose, what an eye, dude! Like, if there's any way that we can get this picture of it up, if we can get this picture up of Pat and his coffee order, if there's any way that we can do that, please do.
Cancel Pat.
Better yet, I need
You know, Jose had to zoom in on that. Like, he must have read something.
Dude,
He had to zoom in.
I zoomed in on that.
Yeah.
I was like, what's this man drinking?
What an eye.
6 pumps of the white chocolate syrup? Like, white chocolate? White chocolate?
Listen.
Get out of here.
Oh.
Oh,
What are you doing with the white chocolate?
Over here. What's going on over here?
No caramel in this? Are you crazy?
Oh, you gumbatsa.
Hey,
He said, cancel. I can't get over it. Cancel Pat is
Cancel.
hard.
Cancel Pat.
Shut him down.
Calling you out,
Hey,
Pat.
listen. Yes. Can get that in a link. Yes. So
I knew.
now, listen. This is.
Please put that up on the program.
I gotta go tell. Jose actually says, I know like a couple weeks ago, the three of us weren't too thrilled about this playoff format, but Jose kind of opened my eye to things. He said last night, he goes, what if the Union, out of all the teams, could really benefit from this new format? Like, being a Union in a series is going to be tough. Like, think about that. Like, I don't.
You have to play in Philly twice. If we have the home field, you have to play in Philly. Well, in Chester.
Oh, now right. Well, now we're going to be on the road.
There it is. There it is.
I can't.
It's six pump Pat. Yeah, that's his new name. 6 pump Pat.
Yes.
And that's not, I'm not even talking about the coffee neither.
Oh, hello. I'm looking for a good time. Oh God.
uh,
God,
oh man,
you gotta stop. You
what-
gotta stop.
that's why I'm
So-
glad we're friends, Jose. That's why I'm glad we're friends, dude.
Yes. So let me ask you, Gus, what do you think? What do you think on Jose's take, though? Do you think he's right? I mean, this could really benefit the Union. Get it. This coming series, you're going to have to go to Cincinnati twice in order to beat them, or you just beat them there and here. Oh no!
Isn't it just one and done now?
This one
No.
is After
Oh, this one?
yeah.
Yeah,
After
no,
this,
it's After the first round, it's all just single elim, so we have to win to keep alive.
Oh, because it ends December 9th.
Dude, literally, the MLS Cup final is a month from today. We are literally 1 month out from MLS Cup playoffs, and we're showing off pictures of Pat and his coffee.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
this is what we have to sometimes. Even Dave, where's this show?
There it
going?
is.
I wish I knew. I wish
Yes.
I knew. Credential canceled. You're done.
Ejected.
I'm moving.
They're going to have that picture in security in the security office at the Union Stadium.
Everyone's going to be ripping on that photo.
It's just that one side angle of Pat from P&M in the AM with his thumb up like this.
Oh my God. Yeah, Dave.
I've heard of playing your cards close to your chest, but I didn't think this needed to be.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes. For Dave to answer Dave Yarnold's question, yeah, the show just went like this.
It all started because of Paul Bearer. They just to get that straight.
Literally, the gates on this race opened. Every horse face planted. Has been struggling to get back up ever since.
Anyway, back to the Union.
So also I'll ask you, what's your feeling though? I mean, do you feel are you confident in the Union though? Again, and so again, oh God, need some caffeine to get this back on track. Yes,
I plan on taking in a good bit once this is over.
Now, to look at, I said I think we're all feeling pretty good. I think we're all feeling pretty optimistic right now. Now, the last time that the Union and Cincinnati met, it was a cold, rainy, windy day. They were going back and forth. However, they didn't have what's his name with them, but the Union again. The only thing about the Union, they were up 2-0, and if that second half started, they took their foot off the gas pedal, and that's what got ugly. But they did it without what's his name? They're starting.
They did it without Luciano Acosta, yes.
Yeah, Luciano, right.
God.
So
I am confident in the fact that Philadelphia could win. I mean, any team has a chance to win every single game.
Brain for it. That brain just
Wait,
went.
If that was a brain fart, I'm worried about the gas that I get in my own head.
Austin, listen. Before you keep going, Jose, you need to know. Sometimes we just let Pat get there. Most of the time, he doesn't get there, so that's just fun to watch.
It's about the journey. It's about the journey.
It's how I get across that bridge. I go through every damn bridge. I mean, it's broken, and I'm just trying to find my way across.
Maybe the player names are actually the friendships that we made along the way.
There you go. There you go. I'll tell you what. This is the game that I'm worried that we do not have Jacob Lessons. This is it. This is the only time where I'm going to say, okay, the Union are in trouble because it's tough not to have, 5 back there.
Yeah, it's tough. You get sending close to this. Oh, no, you can't send
them away. Send them away. Send them away.
Send us come to Nico. Straight to.
I think it's gonna be tough to face a team like this And like I said, like I praised Lowe at the beginning of the show. I think he's doing a great job. But not having Jacob Glesnes back there with Elliott in a game like this, I think that might be problematic.
It definitely can be.
Yeah.
It's because it's not just the cost that you have to worry about. It's also Brandon Vasquez. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this team has
Yeah,
a lot
some
of
tough.
other. They have a lot of other options outside of Lucci that they can really rely on, and even their defense. Former Philadelphia Union defender Ray Gaddis, like they have a solid defense. Like this team is built around that Curtin style because of the fact that it was a guy that coached alongside Curtin and Pat Noonan. So I mean,
Well, look at what they did this year, dude. I mean, it's tough.
Jose, man,
You gotta say six pump Pat, and then he'll know exactly who you're talking
No.
about. Six pump.
say the guy that eats all the food.
No, Jose. Just say the guy sits next to the white bowl beam. The only guy. That's where I sit, right next to that big giant bowl. That giant beam. I just sit right next to it, next to the beam. Right, me and Dave. Between me and Dave, we sit right there. Oh my God. So.
Like this is it's really going to be a battle of two of the same style of team. Yeah, your favorite.
Pat your favorite WIP Cup.
Pat from Ambler. He was a legend.
Yes. See, Jose, I was a
He
legend.
Was.
I gotta
Yes.
Was.
And nice.
Was.
And yeah, and by the way, I gotta give kudos to my man Jose. He was on that PHILY show with him.
PHL Sports Nation.
Yeah. With my man Jamie Lynch. Did a phenomenal job over there. So always a shout. But if you look at
big love to Jose, what he does for bringing the Spanish
content.
bringing the Spanish speaking players, like giving the accessibility of everyone to be able to like understand what their thoughts are on the games and things like that. He's done an incredible job with it. Check him out on Twitter. He has a ton of amazing stuff. He had a sit down conversation.
Represent.
I want to say it was Pat, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. He had that conversation with Julian Carranza about his coming up in the sport of soccer and coming to Philadelphia and the changes that he's had to make in terms of not just his game but his life in general. It was a really good conversation that he had with Carranza. I would suggest you guys check it out if you haven't gotten a chance to already.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
but like this game right now going into Cincinnati, it has, aside from just the implications that it has, it's a game that you should have won when you played them, in that tail end of the season. You were up 2-0. You took your foot off the gas, but this is a different Philadelphia team in the playoffs, and Cincinnati clearly is a different team in the playoffs. I mean, both of these sides, they're very relentless in their attack in the playoffs. Their defense is very strong.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to just look for those little deficiencies where you can find them.
And that's what I said. To me, the whole key is if the Union can get on the scoreboard first, if they strike first, if they come out hot, and again, I think with the preparation that Bedoya brings, all that stuff, his field leadership, and then you get a fresh, healthy Carranza, you can make things happen. And again, if you put Sullivan on that front line as well, I would start making some adjustments. You move him around, move around Ua and all that other stuff.
See, here's the thing that we can't really move around Ua.
Right.
Ua plays in the spot. We can't move him around. So to put him back, let's say back more, that's just gonna hurt you. Because he's not going to create. He's not a creator. He doesn't play well with his back to the goal, right? So he needs to be up top. He needs to be where he's at. That's where he's best at. Unfortunately, this year been mediocre to say the least.
So what you're pretty much saying to the average soccer fan, he's our Kyle Schwarber. Pretty much, he needs to be.
First of all, watch your mouth. Don't talk about Kyle like that.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Watch your mouth. Don't talk about Kyle like that. No, he is not a Kyle Schwarber. He's more of a Jake Cave.
Oh man, that's that's an assaultment to another level.
Yeah, I mean, there are only two Kyles that I stand by in my life, and it's Schwarber and Broflovsky. So
There you go.
Right. So yeah, like I said, that's the thing. If the Philadelphia Union just come out swinging, just put them on the ropes early. Just just
sorry,
take it to
3
them.
Corber as well.
Oh yeah, you
Oh.
can't talk about the legend. Yes, all day. But what about you guys? I mean, how do you see this playing out? What's the strategy to beat a team like Cincinnati?
Be smart.
Yeah.
Be smart. Let's just try to be smart. Like, and I guess that this team plays with a lot of passion. We have a lot of starters that play with a lot of passion. Lowe's gonna have to watch out. He got a yellow real fast last game, and he did not leave that foot off the pedal. He just had it going the whole game. There was chances where he could have gotten the yellow again,
Yeah.
and if that happened, that I mean, what are we gonna do, right? Who are we gonna put in there, right? So we have to watch out for that, because Cincy is gonna be aggressive. They play, obviously they play well together. They're coached really well, and they have, they have the potential to hit bangers relatively quickly. So we have to make sure that we play smart. And we try to contain the creation more than anything. We try to contain those plays from the outside going into the box. That's going to be a challenge with Bizo and Harriel on each side. So as long as we can play smart, the most important thing in the back, and I'm not even talking about the middle or the forwards yet. Most important thing in the back, like, they have got to help each other. They have got to have the safety cornerback mentality. Like, go help your man. They have to
Yeah.
be able to cover a lot of ground, which we can. Elliott is big as hell. Lowe is big as hell. They can cover a lot of ground because they're athletic. I'm telling you right now, we have got to play together. We have to help out.
Yeah, absolutely. Dave says this show is more entertaining than this Thursday night football show game.
There's a football game today. Who's playing?
It's the Panthers and the Bears, dog.
I know.
AKA,
Schedule.
AKA full blown honk shoe, dude. It's
Who
10 to
picked the
9 at the
schedule?
half.
Who
Oh,
booked
that's
this crap?
gross.
So, so for me though, I again just put them on the ropes early. You want to take it away from Cincy, and this time I think this team knows just you got to put your foot on the throttle. And I know it's a lot easier said than done. You just don't take your foot off. And again, I would like to get what I saw this past weekend. I'd like to see more and more Sullivan time. If we
Here's the thing with that though, Pat. If you come out aggressive that way, it leads to more mistakes in the back, right? Because
why?
then you
Just
want
out of
you want him
curiosity.
you want him to play a little more up. Like, this is, again, like I said at the beginning of the game. This is the beginning of the show. This is how Lowe plays on the regular. So this is not even him in the playoffs. This is just how he plays. He likes to move up. He likes to find spaces where he can move up and get a play going. However, that leaves now a hole, or a big space in the back. Then you have to go
Right.
back. Now, he is athletic enough to go back, but you have to be smart about it. Now, I understand that I would love to come out and punch him in the mouth like we did last game and go up 2-0, and then
Mhm.
just contain as best as we can. But I'm just telling you that if we do come out aggressively, just look for it. Look for Andre Blake to have a very busy day.
Now, who
Yeah.
are they missing? The one listener checked in the show said
Matt
they're
Miazga.
Okay, but dude, we let Pat pronounce these people.
No. I mean,
Why would you
it would have
do
been fun. It would have been fun. You're right.
no.
that?
That's why I asked the questions. You guys come up with the answers. I don't know. No, if Pat
There was-
Bernard's
there-
hard enough
there
for
was-
me,
but I mean,
there's
there was some controversy surrounding Miazga's yellows, though. So I mean, I don't know what the whole deal is with it, but apparently at one point he was trying to gain access to the referee's room after the match because he got what was it, one in the game and then one during the PK shootout for like dissension or something, but it doesn't count towards accumulation apparently. But then
Listen.
after, and then he was really heated after that one, and then apparently was trying to gain access to the referee's room after the match.
That's what Jose was talking about yesterday. Like that guy was just. I heard like the one of the players was pretty much waiting on the ref. Let's knuckle it up. I was like, wow.
That's
Yeah,
that's dumb. But it is I could say I know I don't want to shed light on the situation because it's very serious. And
Right.
we lost a huge player, but this is the kind of like idiotic moves that it's so dumb. And right now, I hope Jose is still listening because I would love to hear what he has to say about this. But Austin, I'll ask you, how much does this hurt Kai Wagner for any kind of contract negotiations that he's going to have?
Oh man.
Let me hang on. We're just shifting some things around because we're gonna chat for a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
David,
extremely it hurts his chances of getting a contract extremely because it reflects on him as a person. And then you look at the response that he made when the decision got handed down. That also doesn't really paint him in the best light, in my opinion. Could have easily, just walked away from it if what was said by Wood was said. You walk away from that. You don't feed into that. And to feed into it the way he did, I'm pretty sure you guys will know what I'm talking about. To go full Call of Duty 4 Xbox 360 multiplayer lobby on somebody really ain't the way to go.
That's a nice way to say it.
So it's the best way I could think of without saying the one thing that you could do is be a raving idiot. It's what he did.
That's what he did. That's exactly what he did.
He went stupid, played a stupid game, and won a stupid prize.
And it sucks because now, like I don't think there's a chance that the union even offer anything.
No, absolutely not.
And I don't know what comes from the rest of his career or any potential of a team signing him in the MLS really. So what happens to Kai Wagner after the season?
I don't know, but it definitely does hurt your chances of making the money here in MLS. You may have to go elsewhere and get it now.
That's to me, and okay, say after suspension's over and it's like championship time, do you even bother throwing him in a lineup?
I mean, it depends. It depends on how. Here's the thing, though. Like the players, his teammates know him more than any one of us that's ever going to know him, right? Mm-hmm. So it's going to be up to them to say, I'm going to play with this dude. Because if it's just going to disrupt the chemistry of the team, if we do make it to the championship, I'm assuming that we're gelling and we're playing well because we're bidding a Cincy along the way, right? So I don't know if you throw him in. I really don't. At this point, he's oh my god, I'm such an idiot. Like to do something like this at this stage when like you're fighting for a contract. You gotta be kidding me! Like this.
You find your way out of this. Like I'm sorry, but again, then you try to be slick about it by saying in your native tongue, where the referee, you forget these referees go all around the world and they learn languages, and he picked up immediately what you're trying to say. So then even in the statement you've pulled out, it's like, oh, me and my family are going through stuff, blah blah. You can have all the bells and whistles you want. It's a hard hard turnaround from here. It's going to be hard for you. Like you said, the crowd was all behind you, but you getting paid. And then, like, you saw the writing. He knew the writing was on the wall that he's not going to be here. Okay, this is where you want to show off for the Cincinnatis of the world and all those other teams. You just blew your every opportunity out the water. Like,
to
it's
potential, yeah, to potentially have your Philadelphia Union career end on that note. No.
Yeah.
It sucks because being one of the, if not the,
It's one
the
of
top
two.
LP.
It's one of two very important players that are leaving this team, and both of their exits now are on two completely different sides of this spectrum. You have Bedoya, where extremely well respected, guy who's been a part of this organization for 7.5 years and has given his heart and soul and everything he has to this team, and then doesn't even get the respect of a full sit down conversation as to what the situation is. And then Kai Wagner, a guy who could potentially come back and be one of those cornerstones for this franchise, to have him just stray off and just be like, bam, I'm going to be the worst person in the world all of a sudden. Like, and we've seen it. We've seen this, honestly. I've seen it developing all year. He had been getting a lot more hot-headed this season with referees and other players than he had been in previous seasons. So
I didn't think it was going to be like this, though.
I didn't think it was, but I actually at one point did say to myself, watching one of the games, I in my own head was like, he's going to say something that somebody is going to hear and understand and be like, this dude's a piece of shit. Like, I just had this strange feeling. Like, there's always that one player on a team that you're like, this guy is the greatest guy, and he turns out to be such a human garbage pile that I think this could potentially be that.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
It really is. It really is.
I wish that we weren't sitting here talking about Kai Wagner like this, and which I think is going to be, that I think that last time we saw him was the last time that he's going to be wearing a Union uniform. So it's a shame because he's done so well for the franchise the last couple of years. It's a horrible way to go.
Yeah, and
idiotic, just completely idiotic.
And for, like, to go off of what Austin's saying, like, he's been getting hot headed as of late. How often has he been saying this underneath his breath, and again back to his native tongue, where he's been getting away with it because no one's really been catching on. But wrong place, wrong time, and the referee know what you said. Now you can't even.
It wasn't even the referee; it was the guy that he said it to. The guy played in Germany for a few years and picked up how to speak the language. Yeah,
right.
Like Bobby Wood spent a couple of years in the Bundesliga, so he's learned to speak the language.
Right. And so now all of a sudden you can't even. They don't want you on the team playing. They don't want no distractions. I totally understand Curtin, and this is just going to be a monster for them to deal with. But for now, the best thing for Curtin to do is keep him away from this team, because this team has to stay focused, and it's parallel to the Sixers, right? The minute team chemistry with no James Harden around, you can't screw. This team is too good to screw up right now, and I feel like with all the distractions he could be potentially bringing into that locker room, I can't have that. I'm sorry. You're bringing a head case into my locker room. I don't need it here. I'm sorry. You're going to have to try to play somewhere else. You're not welcome here in Philadelphia no more.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
That's what's going to eventually happen. Look, you got to look at it. It's a business. I can't have Gus feel uncomfortable knowing that he said, or whoever also feel uncomfortable because X over here said something stupid. Now all of a sudden makes you might forgive him all that stuff, but it's like, it just leaves sour taste in your mouth at the wrong time. Like at the wrong time.
It's just it's just bad time. Like, you don't do this, especially right now. You shouldn't do this, period. But right now, like, dude, you can't. You can't. Like, Pat's not the only one getting canceled.
You're almost right. Oh my God, that's great. But yeah, that's like I said, that's just it's look, he put himself down. Now, like I said, you're on the outside looking in. So yeah, his story ends. The story for him is coming to an end. Unfortunately, for all the wrong reasons. So, but heading in. So, like I said, let's go quickly before we wrap out of here. Like I said, Gus, you have Seattle. I think we all. I took Dallas. You guys took Seattle. Houston. You guys went Houston. I went Salt Lake.
I went Salt Lake as well.
Yeah, I think we went to Salt
Okay,
Lake.
so Pat Olson, Salt Lake,
Real.
and then
Real.
Real. Now you guys got to give me Columbus or Atlanta. You guys split it between Columbus and Atlanta.
I say Atlanta. I say Atlanta gets it done. I think they'll ride it. They'll ride this high.
Pat, you and I both said Columbus.
So, all right, guys. Well, look, that's going to be the wrap up for tonight.
The main spot where we're differing right now is you're picking Cincy and nobody else.
Yep.
I know. I'm good for being a loser. So, Thanksgiving weekend, guys. Stay tuned. Listen, we are going to lead you up to this bad boy. We will have another roundtable for round 2. So stay tuned here at Philly Sports. We have you covered. And guys, good night, everyone. All right. Let me get some of these sponsors, and we'll get that goat.
All right, guys, if you're a Philly sports fan and you want to travel with your favorite team, then travel with the best. Go to phillysportstrips.com. They have self-travel packages and full travel packages available with round-trip flights from the Philadelphia airport. Packages include direct flights, 4-night stays, all-inclusive tailgate parties, lower-level group tickets. Whatever you want, you got it with phillysportstrips.com. If you want to travel to an upcoming Phillies game, make sure you check out Philly Sports Trips. And do not forget, Philly Sports Trips has all the away trips for the Eagles' upcoming 2023 season. Jump on it now, because you do not want to lose out on all these great opportunities. Go to phillysportstrips.com. All right, guys, it's time to talk about Sherry's Tickets. Sherry'sTickets.com is easy to use and has no hidden fees. The price you see is the price you pay. Pay less and play more with Sherry'sTickets.com. Save even more by using the exclusive promo code EOP10. That's EOP10. Do not pay hidden fees and save 10%. Why use any other ticket reseller and get those hard-to-come-by tickets to the big game? If you need a more personal touch, give them a call at 610-494-5050. That's 610-494-5050. Sherry'sTickets.com also has great theater and concert tickets that are hard to get your hands on. Remember, do not overpay and save with the best at Sherry'sTickets.com. Save 10% using the promo code EOP10. That's EOP10. You'll thank us later. Sherry'sTickets.com.
Thank you, guys.